We're beyond that now. For those that don't know me, my name's Alex Mitchell. I'm a Glasgow lad. This is very, very familiar to me. I was born straight through there in Ross Street. I grew up in Bain Street. My primary school was in Charlotte Street. So this is old ground. This is me coming back to haunts that I never went to, never knew I was going to come back to. Very quickly, the 20th of March 2021, like everyone else that did it at the time, we thought we were doing the right thing. We listened to what the government and people were saying, we didn't want to kill our granny and all this stuff. Well, I went the 20th of March and I got my AstraZeneca vaccine. And on the 1st of April, and the ironie's not lost on me, I experienced issues in my calf muscles, but being a scaffolder, I thought that was normal. Soldiered on for a couple of days and sadly on the Sunday the 4th of April I was collapsed at home. Was rushed to hospital, spent 7.5 hours in surgery, having clots removed from my lower abdomen, right leg and left leg. Sadly, after 7.5 hours I was informed that it would be an amputation. At that point we weren't sure what it was, but it was kind of looked at that no underlying health conditions. So it was kind of early on thought this could be possibly vaccine related. A week later, the reason it was a week later, I asked for a week, thinking that some hope, some miracle, you could vein something from the below the knee, and it would be a below the knee amputation. They gave me the week, but with hindsight I realised that they didn't give me the week because I wanted it, they gave me the week because I couldn't survive another operation. So on the 11th of April I was amputated from above the knee. Left hospital within 8 days, home, and obviously you're trying to deal with the fact that everything you know is gone, everything you have is lost. So what you tend to do is you try to figure out what do I do here. So you try to find out what support is there, and I'm here to tell you that there is no support, you're on your own. You go from being full employed all your life and this happens to you, there is nothing. You're on state benefits and it took 10 months to get that.
You can go for a hike with the dog if you want.
In the world
Behave.
to receive the vaccine damage payment scheme, £120,000. Yeah. Fantastic. It was never about the money, it's about probability and causation, but that's on the legal side of it. So here we are, a year and a half later, and I've looked into the full process of what the UK government put in preparation for a pandemic for when it goes wrong, knowing it was going to go wrong anyway, because they're using a method that had never been tried before, if you want to go that way. 2 words, that's all they did. 2 words. They added COVID-19 vaccines to a 1979 policy. That's what they did. That was the preparation for this pandemic. That is not acceptable. That's my story, very quickly. I wanted to sort of bring out the fact that we're now
This guy's going at the
stage where yous are all adults, yous all have a choice, yous all have a mind, yous all have something else. Most of us are children. All I'm going to say is 3 questions with regarding these things. 1, ask, will the government, will the supply independently verify safety data for children? Will this government support my child for life should it go wrong? And will this pharmaceutical company support my child for life should it go wrong? And sadly the answer to all 3 is no worldwide. There is no safety data for these for children. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to tell you how to do it. I'm asking you to listen to the science, the real science. There is none. Please keep away from the children. I wanted to finish with something else that's very close to my heart. Over the last year and a half, trying to deal with not just what's happened to you and the physical side of it, the mental side of it, you've then got this situation where, as an individual human being, you take abuse in social media from every angle. You get it for the pro-vaxxers because you're being anti-vax. You get it for the anti-vaxxers because you're saying something about vaccinations. And then on social media, when you tell your truth, you get labelled as misinformation. I'm not misinformation. I'm a human being with feelings. Just every single person in here. The only difference between you and me is I was an unlucky one. For those that are lucky, stay lucky. For those that are unlucky, you're not alone. We've lost 4 people in the last 4 months. And I'll be damned, and I'll try to be polite here, if I lose one more person. I can't take this anymore. I can't lose one more person. Now, we're not losing just people who've been vaccinated. We've lost 2 people to long COVID. We got it from the virus. So let's forget about who got it, why they got it, why they didn't get it, why they're not getting it. But beyond that, civilization and humanity is now at a stage where we need to forget why it's happened. We need to move on from now. We need to help each other. In the next 2 years, what's coming down, we're going to have to be very careful with a lot of people's mental health. And I think if nothing else, that's the message I want to say. Think about yourselves, think about what you're saying to people, think about how you're saying it. I don't want to spend another 95 in the morning talking to somebody, not because I want to sit to 5 in the morning and talk to them. I don't want to go talk to them and hang up the phone because I'm not sure they're going to fucking answer the phone the next time I talk to them. We need to stop this, people. Now, I'm getting very angry, I'm getting very emotional, so I'm going to try and calm down. Because when we talk about mental stress and pressure and things like that, we've all got it. I'm no special human being. None of us are any different. Honestly. We talk about strong people. What is strong people? I'll tell you what strong is. Strong is what you've got, and it's all you've got. So you ain't got nothing left, you get strong, you find it. And there's this pot of inside you that when you access it, it lets you know. It doesn't matter what life throws at you. It doesn't matter how bad it is, it doesn't matter whether you were right or wrong. But beyond that, it's how we move on as human beings. I've never seen a change in humanity in my life like this, where brother is against sister, against mother, against father, all because these people have a narrative. Your narrative is stop this, fix the problem, help people, help us all, and look after yourselves. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. You're a great speaker, you know. And yeah, please hold the mic up. My question for you is: there is a COVID inquiry UK being run by Baroness Heather Hazlitt.
Yes.
What other things that you think we could do better to avoid this situation and correct matters for the future?
The UK COVID inquiry was a problem in many ways because all it said was COVID inquiry. Now, we fought and we got 180 odd signatures within 2 weeks to get an added terms of reference put on it, saying the impact of vaccines. Thankfully, Mr Johnson resigned and fucked off, and the next person in didn't in time for that to be taken out. I am the lead co-participant in the UK COVID inquiry as a victim. This is to let you know how nefarious this is. The Scottish Government's having a COVID inquiry. Who knew? Who knew? We found out on Thursday. Now, Thursday, that gave us 6 days to try and pull something together. All I want to say is we started off with 3 people. We've now got over 80. That's 80 verified injured vaccine people just in 24, 40 hours. That's just in Glasgow and the surrounding areas. We got it. The submission's in, we've got legal representation. Will these things make a difference? I've got to hope so, otherwise I'm wasting my time going to them, aren't I? But no, they will make a difference. Because just like I've always been, I've never shut my mouth. I've not shut my mouth so far. I've got certainly one place where I'm shutting it more than that. This is not my fight, beyond me. Nothing is going to bring me my life back or give me the life that I had. Nothing. So therefore, it's not about money, it's not about me. This is about trying to stop it happening to you, you, the daughter, the mother, the granny, and anybody else. I don't want to tell you what to do. I hate that anymore. I want to let you know that there's a problem. If we acknowledge the problem, we deal with it, we move on. Do I think the inquiries will make a difference? Yes, they will. Because I think we know that the vaccine damage payment form has been attached to it. She has the power to demand that that is brought up to speed and date straight away. It's not just about those that are injured with these vaccines. I want to make this clear. There's 2,704 claims now just for these 3 vaccines. There cannot be 70 a week. And let's not forget 820 existing claims for the previous 10 years that are still outstanding. Just because one person took a reaction to a drug doesn't mean they shouldn't get supported, ignored and abandoned. If it's happened to me, and it's beyond any doubt and argument, and it took me a year and a half just to get, the only reason this happened is because of use people. And that's the only reason he got the quickness we got, because the social media just ticked it off. That's what helped us.
What do you say about the censorship, and what do you say about informed consent?
Informed consent. Informed consent is when they tell you that they knew there was issues with these before they brought them out, that the trial date was wrong. Now, there's a big thing about this indemnity contract. I'll knock that in the head straight away. Indemnity's gone, because the indemnity contract states clearly, and I've read it, and I've read Pfizer's, Moderna's, and I've read AstraZeneca's contract with the government. And they all clearly state that the indemnity is only in place if the data is robust and reliable. Now, we've got no data for AstraZeneca. There's none. It was never tested in a human before they went. It was tested in, did two animal lab tests, and all the animals were destroyed humanely within 48 hours. So there was no human test. That's why there's no data for AstraZeneca. Well, we all know the story with Pfizer documents, so what he's arguing is going with that. Moderna, that's tanked. Johnson's been banned. Now, slowly but surely, every one of these is getting pulled. Denmark's decided, you know, that under 50s get these things. That's the approach that should have been took in the first place. Never in the history of humanity have we created something that we gave to everybody to protect a certain amount. It's always the other way around. It's always fix the person in society and build government. So therefore, what is this about? Is it about money? Is it power and belief? I don't know, that's not the stuff. We need to stop it. We need to stop it. We need to get help and support for people. I hope that answers the question, buddy.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
I believe it. Yes, I do. That is something that has been looked at. I know that it was done down south. I know the people that did it. The actual package that they handed in was something like 7 inches thick, because it had full statements of victims, everything all the way through. The only thing I'll say about these criminal cases, we've ticked all the boxes. They're not going anywhere. We've ticked all the boxes in Scotland, England, Wales and Ireland, Northern Ireland and Wales. Every single police force has had the same approach. So therefore, if they're coming back to say bring us the evidence, that's not your job. That's their job. Yeah. Now, what we'll say is that will take care of itself. This will take care of itself because it's everything else, it's all coming out. Yes. There's a criminal case being made up. There is a couple of personal cases of negligence. There's a couple of other cases through different things that are going legal. The big one is that there is 3 class actions on the VIT, which is vaccine-induced thrombotic thrombocythemia, which is the wonderful condition that I've got. It's a lovely thing. I won't explain it because it's horrific. There's 444 of us in the UK. Sadly, 8 of them are fatalities. The rest of us have pretty much got legal representation. Those cases, we now know we're going to win them because the government, the 2 words that we needed was probability and causation, and that's been accepted. There's been 13 payouts. It'll take them 15 years to process the claims that's there just now. You know, we can go on and on and on. So there is that. There's also a private civil case that's going on. I'm going to call what's called a judicial review into the vaccine damage payment scheme on my case alone. I want to know what happened for a year, because I know nothing happened for a year. So yeah, there's lots of different angles being looked at.
There's enough people to report it. These guys down here in the big fucking van, you need to do something about it. And then it stops, they ban them for everything.
Aye.
At the moment they're still keeping them out.
I totally agree with you.
While the moment the funeral is going to take place on Monday, the vaccine centre will still be open.
Yeah.
The hospitals will be shut, but the vaccine centres will be open.
Oh no, listen, we could go to every level, we could hear for hours talking how bad everything is. If I sit and think about this, these people have had 30, 40 years to plan this.
Yeah.
We've had 2 years to catch up.
Aye.
Do I worry about that? Of course I do. But I tell you one thing I do have, I have faith, and I've got hope, and I've got something else. I've got everybody in this world.
Yes, mate. Yep.
I'm not the brightest guy in the world. I don't have to be. I don't have to be. I don't have to be the most intelligent guy in the world. I don't have to be anything like that. Because there's people out there that have got nothing better to do with their time and say, I'm picking that report apart and send it to you. Far better than me. These are the people that's going to win. These people. Not me. I'm just a guy first time with Glasgow shouting. That's all I am.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never stopped.
One of the people who's standing up for people. Fucking nice, yes! Yes, we are.